Ankur sir, we're starting. Good morning, participants. On behalf of Ministry Youth Affairs and Sports, Hello India, LNCP, and on behalf of Dr. G. Kishosa, Principal, I welcome you all for this valuable session. Today we have a special chief guest and a special speaker, Ankur Singh Saini, Assistant Professor from Swarnim Gujarat Sports University, Gandhinagar. About him, Sir is a vibrant physical education professional. About him, since 2016 onwards, he is rendering his service in Gujarat Sports University. Uh, he is a qualified teacher with many abilities, like he is a good swimming coach. He has completed a swimming in diploma, and he is a holder of master degrees in uh, physical education from LNIPE Golia, specialized in exercise physiology subject and discipline wise swimming. And from his childhood he is a passionate swimmer also, and he has won number of medals in swimming competitions. Some of his achievements, like he has participated in 62nd Senior National Aquatic Championship at as a water polo player, represented Madhya Pradesh, held at Hyderabad, and he has participated in many CBSE as well as SDFEI competitions and won number of medals at a national level also. He is not only a coach, he is also a good swimming athlete and a good water polo player also. And some of his academic qualifications, like he successfully completed officiating dynamics referee umpire program from Australian Sports Academy and Sports Authority of India, successfully completed diploma in swimming from Australian Sports Academy and Sports Authority of India. He has published a number of research papers in reputed national and international journals. And today, sir is going to give expert opinion on this present topic. So I request all the participants to pay attention. Sir, on behalf of Ministry Youth Affairs and Sports, Hello India and LNCP, on behalf of Dr. G. Kishore sir, Principal, I welcome you for this session, sir. I request uh, participants to pay attention. Sir is going to give expert opinion on this present topic. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjeev Patil. Thank you so much for a lovely introduction for me. Respected principal sir from LNCP Trivandrum, and respected members of SAI and Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India. Thank you for providing me this wonderful opportunity to be a speaker on this wonderful topic, this preparing to coach. That's a need of our today's scenario, because what we are targeting is, that's the important part, we need to prepare a coach to prepare Olympian first. So based on that, that's a very good initiative by SAI, LNCP Trivandrum as well. I congratulate all the teams working very hard with that. And now we can start our presentation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please share that PPT, sir.
Yeah. Is fine, right?
1 minute. Stop sharing. Stop sharing, sir. Yeah, just you open and okay, you start now. Start, sir.
Just
Participants, small technical problem. Please excuse us for 1 second. You add your name, sir. There. Sorry. Huh. Okay, okay.
I think it's updated. It's not showing here.
Continue, sir. Continue.
Yeah. So today we are all present here for the topic preparing to coach. That's as I earlier said, it's a wonderful topic and it's a need of today's scenario. We need that. We need to prepare a coach better form to prepare a better Olympian or better sportsman in the coming future. That's all what our motto is. So with this, the preparing to coach starts with the planning. I'll just briefly highlight uh, the points which I'll cover in the coming slides. The development phases. Yes. The development phases of sports, and we are able to understand the planning and coaching, know the relationship process between and their outcome goals, understand the long-term planning process and execution of a plan. The planning is session, what are the how we plan a session, behavioral characteristics of a player, approaches and coaching tips, game-centric approach, player-centric approach, and the relationship between coach and player and practice and competitions. So on briefly, I'll cover the first part is how the exact age for the planning. The next part is how the plan runs. And the third part is understand the player and the coach relationship, what the coach need to be, and the player's characteristics and behavioral changes with the stages of their development. And lastly, the relationship between the coach and the player. These all major points which we will cover in the coming presentation. The first most thing is the planning in sports. I'll cover most of the content in English as well as Hindi because as I came to know that most of the participants are ready to with the English language and some of are with the Hindi language. So I'll comfortable with try to explain some of the points in English and I'll translate into Hindi as well. So planning is a process. What we call it, when we start anything, try to achieve, we set an objective. It's a simple thing. We start, I want to achieve a medal in a state or national level. That's my objective. Or state, national, senior national, Khelo India or Olympic. That's my objective. Then I need to decide how this objective to be achieved. So that path, that process, we call it the planning. We need to plan that process to a best competitive manner to achieve the best results. But one more thing we need to add, and I need to add, we have a definite time for planning. We always have a specific time of the competition, specific age for the performance, specific dates for the tournament. So with that, we need to achieve that best performance and give that best planning to achieve that best performance at the definite time. And I'll more elaborately say at the definite age. That is very important. So we'll move forward. As we can see that we categorize different phases for the sports, that is some individual sports and team sports. But on earlier basis, when we start the sports, we planning for the different stages. In the current scenario, there are many models coming up. Many models are going on for the athlete development plan. That is more successful models. Right now is long-term athlete development training plan is one of the best successfully accepted worldwide plan for this athlete's development and achieving best form. So based on that plan, something which tells the different stages. The stages, we call it the active start, fundamental, learn to train, train to train, train to compete, train to win, and the that stages, the first stages, that learning, play, or they're given in the 7 stages. I'll the first stages as the physical literacy stages. We need to focus on the planning of fundamentals, teaching of fundamentals, ABCs we call it. Physical literacies are the fundamental movements we need to teach, and based on that, the further advanced elite training is based. We need to develop that fundamentals, that physical literacy. Later on, to achieving the excellence, that 7 steps, the 7 steps, train to train, train to compete, and train to win, is an excellent part that purely depends on the physical literacy and the base, the fundamental which we create at the early stages. Suppose, for example, the fundamental skills of throwing. I'll teach a student to a fundamental skill of throwing, but if he knows a best technique of throwing, he can utilize it to number of sports. He can be a good volleyballer, he can be a good tennis player, he can be a good handball player. So that technique, he can be a good cricketer. So throwing technique can be relate to many fundamentals. So fundamentals is the base important thing to teach them in a right. Based on that, we can develop a bigger base and the advanced elite performers in the future. These some dividation of individual and team sports based on their skills and their targets. Some like target sports, some net sports are there, some striking sports are divided. Some territorial sports are there, some individual pursuits are there. So we can divide these sports based on their equipment used, area, surroundings, the targets. That can be used for this. Dividation can be done based on that. So most important thing is the development plan. First, we need to development planning. We need to plan the base, the fundamentals, the physical literacy, and based on that, we can only achieve the excellence in the sports in the future. Next, come to the right age of the training. That's a very important factor in the learning. The first and foremost things which we need to understand. Most of our Indian athletes are dropouts or say overexposed to the early ages of training. I just need to highlight, I wanted to highlight that, swimming age is less, men and women 7 to 8 and 8 to 9. Tennis is less, 7 to 8 and 8 to 9. Gymnastics is 6 to 8. Age is very less, right? If you talk about basketball 10 to 12, badminton 10 to 12, we can say swimming, the skill-based sports, gymnastics, the skill-based sports, the early specialization, early start. But what we need to understand is begin to practicing sports, and the age to start specialization is 7 to 9 to 11 to 3 is 3 to 4 years of gap, right? And again, if you reach a high performance, again there is a 4 years of gap, 4 years of training. So there is a particular age, and we need to spend that particular age to a particular development. We can't give specialization early. We can't give specialization late, based on the data which we have available right now. So right age, selection of the right age for the right sports. and there is no sports which starts as 4. So this 4, infancy age, early ages, what we need to develop the basic fundamentals, the base of the athlete, which we can give the later age for the specialization of particular sports. So choose the right age for the right sports. But before choosing the right age, we need to give the fundamentals. Based on that fundamentals, their outcomes, we are easily able to identify which sports is given for the particular athlete and which is more relevant to him or her. तो मैं हिंदी में भी एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूं साथ साथ. हमें एज जो एक ऐसा फैक्टर है जो राइट एज अगर हमने स्पोर्ट्स की चूज की है तभी हम उसकी अचीवमेंट जो है एक करेक्ट एज, ओलंपिक एज में, हाई परफॉर्मेंस एज में हम अचीव कर सकते. हर एक एज, अगर 3 स्टेजेस यहाँ पे दिए हुए हैं हमने, एज टू बिगिन, टू पार्टिसिपेट स्पोर्ट्स, start specialization and achieving high performance, that's particular age there is a gap of 3 to 4 years, 4 to 4 years again. So that age is for the training, what we call planning. We need to plan according to that age, to that particular years. So I hope the concept of age, selection of age to the right sports is clear. Now comes the long-term process of training, sports training. क्यों कहते हैं कि sports training एक long-term process है? As we can see, the ages, if we start at the age of 6 or 7, it will take around 10 to 12 years to achieve an Olympic level or international. So these ages, so एक 10 से 12 साल का plan, this is a long-term plan, and long-term planning leads to a micro plan. So we need to step by step lower our areas, narrow our planning to from long term to session. So that's why we call it's a long term training process. There are different parts, but I'll need to highlight that particularly a long term training process we call it. The training conception. The first one is the training concept. What we decide is the long term training process, the age. सपोज कि आपके पास 12 साल है, 10 साल है, 8 साल है, कितने साल का आप प्रोसेस डिसाइड करना चाहते हैं, द होल कंप्लीट प्रोसेस वी कॉल इट द ट्रेनिंग कॉन्सेप्शन, मल्टी इयर्स प्लानिंग, कंप्लीट लॉन्ग टर्म प्लानिंग. Based on that, then we decide our goals. How many years we'll start, we will give to the basic training, how many years we'll give to the advanced training, and how many years we'll give to the high performance stages. So these 3 stages comes under the training conceptions. So each player, if he wanted to be on an Olympian or Olympic medalist, he need to go through with all the training stages like beginning, advanced, and high performance stages with a definite time period as well. When we decided the 12 years plan, now it's Olympic plan, or we say Olympic to Olympic plan can be long-term training process. Then we comes to the yearly plan. Suppose if you wanted to achieve like after 4 years, I wanted to play senior national, from beginnings to senior national can be achieved. Say state level medalist or national level medalist. So junior medalist can be. So I need to figure out of that the yearly plan I need to design. So yearly plan can be of a group plan for team games and individual plan for individual sports. Yearly plan basically cover ups. हमने सुना होगा पीरियडाइजेशन के बारे में, सुना होगा थोड़ा सा प्लानिंग के टाइम पे सुना होगा कि हमने एक ईयरली प्लान, वी आर प्लान ईयरली बेसिस, कि हमने प्रिपरेटरी फेज, कंपटीशन फेज, ट्रांजिशन फेजेस के बारे में सुना होगा. प्री कंपटीशन प्रिपरेटरी फेज में जनरल प्रिपरेटरी फेज, स्पेसिफिक प्रिपरेटरी फेज के बारे में सुना होगा, प्री कंपटीशन कंपटीशन फेजेस के बारे में सुना होगा. दैट ऑल आर द पार्ट ऑफ द ईयरली प्लान. How many tournaments I want to play, when I want to achieve my top performance, that's part of a yearly plan. Yearly plan, sometimes in European terminology they call it yearly plan to a macro cycle as well. So don't be confused. And in Europeans they are using some different terminologies than Americans are using. So don't be confused. Yearly plan means the yearly plan. Here, Then you decide the yearly plan. Formation is done. The month is decided. The time frame is decided. From that yearly plan, there is one plan comes under is the mesocycle plan. If we got say 1 year, 52 weeks, then we divide these 52 weeks into different mesocycles. We call it weekly cycles. That is depends on 3 to 6 weeks. We call it operational cycle. Why we call it operation cycle? That's the first one is our physiological adaptation. The basic the mesocycle is required either minimum 6 weeks for preparatory time to start the adaptation. Adaptation start करने के लिए, to adaptation gain करने के लिए हमें at least minimum 6 week का time जरूरी होता है किसी भी physiological adaptation किसी training के through achieve करने के लिए. तो इसलिए जनरली उसका टाइम फ्रेम जो है हमने 3 to 6 वीक का रखा है, बट इट कैन बी शॉर्टर नियर टू द कंपटीशन. ऑपरेशनल प्लान क्यों बोला गया है? क्योंकि दिस प्लान डिसाइड विच एलिमेंट टू बी डन. क्योंकि यही प्लान डिसाइड करता है कि हमें किस एलिमेंट पे इन 6 हफ्तों में काम करना है. और इस मेसोसाइकिल का एक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है कि वी डोंट टेक मच ऑफ द एलिमेंट्स इन अ वन मेसो. We hardly take 1 or 2 or 3 elements, suppose like endurance, say adaptation to the strength, and basic active aerobics endurance for the speed. So these basic fundamentals I have taken the 3 element, not 4, 5, 6 flexibility, speed, coordination and all. So only 3 fundamentals. Operation plan, focus on 3, develop it, and check it, the monitoring. What we want is to monitor this plan. So every after 6 weeks or mesocycles, there will be a testing, there will be a monitoring. That will help to achieve our goals. कि अगर हम right path पे हैं या नहीं है, that checking, that monitoring will test. So mesocycle एक operation plan है, बहुत important है और ये एक yearly plan का हिस्सा. अब वीकली साइकिल्स के अंदर उसका एक छोटा पार्ट है जिसको हम सबसे स्मॉलेस्ट यूनिट कहते हैं, दैट इज माइक्रोसाइकिल प्लान, जो शॉर्ट टर्म ट्रेनिंग. शॉर्ट टर्म ट्रेनिंग प्लान अगर हम अचीव करने की कोशिश करें कि ये एक फंक्शनल प्लान जिसको हम बोलते हैं, जो 1 हफ्ते का होता है जनरली हमारे यहाँ, क्योंकि जनरली हम 7 days a week फॉलो करते हैं, तो इसकी ड्यूरेशन जो 7 to 10 days का हो सकता है. सो माइक्रोसाइकिल प्लान इज समथिंग लाइक 7 days plan we call it. Detailed plan, we need to tell when to give the load, when to give the recovery, when to give which elements to be given, number of sessions. We need to decide कि कितने number of sessions मुझे पूरे वीक में देने चाहिए, right? तो माइक्रोसाइकिल प्लान इज द वीकली प्लान कि कितने number of sessions मुझे देने हैं, कैसे प्लानिंग करना है, कैसे लोड देना है, कैसे रिकवरी देनी है. This is big, and it's totally related with mesocycle, which we are operational plan, and mesocycle is totally related with yearly plan, and yearly plan is my part of the training concepts. Last part is the very important part, is the training session. Right now what we call it कि हम planning जो basic plan है we don't follow, and sometimes we follow, we don't follow like 100%. But I want to quote one book में मैंने पढ़ा था जहाँ पे कि if you are 99.9% correct in coaching, that means you are 100% wrong. The coaching need to be 100% correct, because we lost the Olympic medal with the 1.1 microseconds. So there is no say need to be 100% correct in the planning, right? And we need to, no one can be, but we need to try our best for the plan. So next part is the training session plan. Training session plan is what कि एक यूनिट है मेरे ट्रेनिंग सेशन का. ट्रेनिंग सेशन के अंदर मैंने जो वीकली मेरा डिसाइड किया था कि मैं मॉर्निंग इवनिंग सेशन रखूंगा, इवनिंग आफ्टरनून सेशंस रखूंगा, या वीक में 3 सेशंस रखूंगा, वीक में 4 सेशंस रखेंगे, 5 रखेंगे, सारे इवनिंग के सेशन रखेंगे, सारे मॉर्निंग के सेशन रखेंगे. जनरली व्हाट वी कॉल इट कि बिगिनर्स को हम ज्यादा सेशंस नहीं देते ट्रेनिंग. Beginners, they used to have 2 to 4 or 5 earlier. Every alternate days is like 3 sessions a week. Then comes to the 3 or 4 sessions, then 6 sessions, and keep on increasing as the age improves, as the ability to tolerate load improves, and their adaptation improves. We need to get more session for the team. Training session plan. अब बात करते हैं कि हमने सारी चीजें प्लान कर ली हैं. Setting we have all planned. Now comes to the training session plan. We'll see कि okay, आज we'll go for strength training. We'll go to gym or say on body weight exercises. We'll decide everything on the field. Sometimes it happens. Most of the time. So training session plan. We need to plan the training session as well before it starts. Part of the training session plans says it's a warm-up part, the introduction, warm-up part, basic. Then it's come to the main part of the session. Then it's come to the cooling down part, and then it's come to the recapitulation. Right? So this is like warm-up, main part, and cooling down. These 3 main major content of the training session. Suppose warm-up. I want to do the strength training. I need to warm up my core, ligaments, muscles, tendons for preparation of my strength training. If something aerobic is going on, I need to warm up my cardiovascular system. So that's warm up is totally depends on the main part, the main content of the training unit, but which we are going to impart. Right? And the cooling down part is the most important factor and the most important part of the training session plan, which most of the guys skip, because it's help us to prepare for the next session. And everything depends like injury prevention, movement, say psychological training that comes in the training session, and the cooling down is there. Coach can discuss with the players how the session is going on, done, and how this session is useful, how you feeling. That's a part. And even with the relaxing, flexibility, massage can be done in the cooling session based on that muscles or body part which is more exhausted and used in the main part. So if this warm-up main part and cooling down part is total are interlinked with each other. So training session plan is also a very important part plan. But हमें एक बात हमेशा याद रखना है कि these each unit, each session plan, each microcycle plan, mesocycle plan, yearly plan are interlinked. Sorry. So what I am achieving today in each session, what I am gaining today in one session, it's always interlinked with my yearly annual training conception, my yearly 4 years plan. So what I am achieving, there must be a link between the up towards my achievement of higher performance. Now comes a training session plan. करते टाइम हमें कुछ बातें जो हैं वो ध्यान में रखनी चाहिए. We need to understand the few points while we plan a session, because it is very important, because total plan is based on that. If you plan a session, total plan based on that. Okay, the first one is who, players' age, gender, development, competition, ability, fitness, number of players, etc. See, who means okay, what are the players' age? What I am planning for whom? See, for beginners, intermediate, advanced, because all are having different developmental stages, different mental mindset, their cognitive different. So, and the gender, either I am planning for male or either I am planning for female, either I am planning for a development, skill sessions, or I am planning for a competition. I'm planning for fitness and abilities to develop, or the number of players. Suppose you plan a session, हम एक session plan करते हैं, और I plan for say partners stretching, or say, and we got less number of participants, or we say we'll play some group games and the participants are too much, we decide for a gym session. There is less number of equipments and we have more number of students. The session cannot be done. So the main thing is the number of players. If I know the number of players is 34, 35, say 40, or say 10, 15, whatever I'm getting my numbers. So I need to plan my session. So effectiveness will be there if the session is planned according to the number of players. How much the players are accommodated in my session and how they will accommodate and get the benefit of the session each and every. Next, the what? My training objective approach. The training objective and approach basically decided with the main goal of my mesocycles and the yearly cycles. Major training objectives, what I want to achieve, that basically achieve and defined by my yearly. For seniors, there is a different. For juniors, is a different. For coordination, for technique, there is a. What I wanted to achieve, what I wanted to decide. See, this is my approach to the training. This is for grassroots. This is for intermediate. This is for elite level. This is for high performance. So that decides my session need to be on what basis. Well, so say morning, evening session, night session, climatic conditions. This all affects my. That's all climatic conditions, kickoff time, ability of the players. This all I need to think of before my session. कि मुझे morning करना है, evening करना है. Few of the sessions need to be planned, like more heavy strength training can be done in the evening sessions instead of morning sessions. Speed training can be done in the evening sessions. Can be climatic conditions in winters, especially when there is so much cold outside. So we don't like warm up. Long warm up can be done. So based on that climatic condition, our sessions can be planning. And facilities, the most important part, outdoor facilities. What are the facilities we have? Say ground, gym. If you wanted to have like a football session, you wanted to have swimming session or hockey session, playing field area कितना है, हमारे पास number of players कितने हैं, number of equipments कितने हैं, number of ball कितनी हैं. That all matters to the planning of the session. Then the most important part, why I am doing this. Ask. Every session you give, जब भी आप कभी session दो, अगर if you have an answer of why I am doing this, that means you are on the right path. That means you are on your objectives which you have decided, means the planning is going on right. And that planning a session, every session there is an achievement, beginning of a session, and planning keep on checking. We need to continuously assess it. So each session, so we need to, before planning a session, हमें सोचना चाहिए for whom, what, when, where, and why. So the two aspects, the selection of age and the process of training, planning, we got to know. Now we start what as a coach we need to think of, because there are many aspects coach while planning a session he need to be. The aspects to be considered is very important that have a backup plan. Sometimes say weather conditions, if somewhere temperature is cold, rain or extremely cold, right? Climatic conditions, I on the like desert part, coastal area, humidity is there, or on the hill. So that affects your training and planning of the session. Sometimes when you go with the planning, students or players don't respond particularly with that. Particularly with the plans. So you need to always have a backup plan in your training sessions. You need to have it and review each session, get the feedback. You need to review each session. When you are done with the planning, you have executed one session plan. Before planning to the next session, you need to have a review of the previous sessions, and that will help to planning of a new session. And get the feedback. Feedback is very important because that will tell you how you will understand your athletes. If you are understand better your athlete, you will plan better for the next. And always like we simply say the planning and the coaching is not always a rigid part. It's never be a rigid. There need to be adjustment because it's human body that responds to a particular stimulus in a different situation, different time. So we need to adjust, amend the training program accordingly. And that's not a big deal if you plan something and you need to change it. That always happens, no issues. But you need to have a backup plan. Whatever you plan, suppose say I want a gym session in the training, and suddenly if something happens, gym is closed and we are not able to access the gym. So that same part, that same particular, I can't hold on the session. Gym is closed, I'll call the session. No, I'll arrange something as that will give the same effects, and I'll do some on body weight exercises, but partners strength training exercises that can be performed with free weights, can be performed on the ground, can be performed. So I want say modifications can be done. So these aspects. So coach. So if you are preparing for a coach, you need to prepare for this also. When you are planning everything, plan for plan B also. The age appropriate settings and coaching. The age appropriate. Why we call it age appropriate? Because children are different, the adults are different, and adolescents are different. As the growing age, as the age changes, as age changes, their playing area changes, their equipment changes. So right now, to be an effective coaching, for the effective application of the planning, we need to modify the training area, training equipment, and training environment according to the player, to the trainee, to the child, which we are taking on. For example, say, as you can see in the pictures, if you start a football, so in early stages, there is a smaller size of football goalpost, bigger size of football, lighter, different types of football is available, then targets are available, then it comes level, then the size of the post is slightly increased, right? So, and to the advanced and elite level, the full size. So modification of appropriate setting is very important according to the player or a child or a team. Because I'll say कि जब भी हम प्लानिंग करते हैं, हर एक छोटा बच्चा अपनी ग्रोथ और डेवलपमेंट के हिसाब से ग्रोथ करता है. हर एक की लर्निंग कैपेसिटीज अलग अलग होते हैं, कॉग्निटिव एबिलिटीज अलग अलग होते हैं, मेंटल एबिलिटीज अलग अलग. तो बेस्ड ऑन दैट उनके कॉग्निटिव, राइट, कोऑर्डिनेशन, मेंटल एबिलिटीज जो अलग अलग हैं, डिफरेंट्स हैं. वी नीड टू प्रोवाइड द बेस्ट facilities and equipments to that particular level of that child to gain a best out of it. कभी भी हमें इम्पोज नहीं करना, उसके ऊपर थोपना नहीं है कि भाई ऐसे ही करना है, बट ऐसे ही करते हैं. हमें उसके लेवल पे जाके उसको सीखना है, समझना है, उनके मेंटल एबिलिटीज को समझना है, कॉग्निटिव एबिलिटीज को समझना है. वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड देयर स्किल लेवल कि हाउ मच दे आर लर्निंग, we need to understand the rate of their development, rate of their learning, the very important part. So based on that, appropriate age, appropriate settings are for coaching. So we need to modify the equipments, we need to modify the methods, we need to apply the number of players, equipments, say rules and regulation can be modified according to the age and say, and the games age level, say under 14, 17, 19, rule can be modified, provide the best environment for learning and improvement. There one point is there, this is intensity. Right. I need to highlight that intensity. Some of the guys in early stages, they give a very much workload and they overexhaust. There's a sufficient time what we call it intensity, the power output, which we do the sessions in a session, how much intensity, the efforts which we are doing, and the qualitative content. Right now, if we are focusing on the movement learning for a child, for developmental stages, don't need to focus on the intensity. I train the movements now, and it can be slow. If I'll try to focus on the intensity and the early stages, the child will learn a false movements. They will learn a wrong concept of movements. That will lead to the injury in the future. So, and simultaneously, the intensity, not only the intensity, the volume. Both are most important and contemporary things. If we need to understand the concept of intensity and volume, very important. So for a child, we need to understand how much load he is able to adjust, how much load he is able to adopt. Based on that, we need to plan the session. For suggestive measures, I'll suggest that we need to give less intensity exercises at the early ages, and slowly as he grows, physically, mentally, emotionally, and say growth level. Right? So as he grows, intensity of exercises can increase. Now we need to understand the coach's point of view. If you are preparing a coach, prepare kar rahe hain to become a coach, the few simple point, I'm not highlighting, I'm going into the deep of that particular training part, right? So but for the coaching point of view, the basic simple principles can be followed. Start of the emphasis on the learning of the development. We need to emphasize on the learning, developmental learning. We need to develop the child first, instead of we need to have a performance out of it. Development अच्छा होगा, learning अच्छी होगी, so based on that, our planning will be good. Winning, competing and winning as he moves towards the elite level age, as he achieves a top form age, say high performance age, we need to start practicing towards the competing and winning as he starts gaining age. But firstly, we focus on the learning part and development. Always say most of the things we know. Let's start with simple to fun, small and fun squads, simple to complex intensity. These are all we know, but the basic thing is how we apply it. Because हम सीखते हैं बहुत सारी चीजें हम पढ़ लेते हैं, but when we go to the practical field, that is something different. Scenario is totally different. So the simple to complex, say start simple, fun, engaging activity, games, fun, play. These are the basic concepts, but due to the pressure of the peer pressure, sometimes performance pressure, sometimes parents pressure, that organization pressure is there. So sometimes coach leads say, okay, chalo bhai load de dete hain hum, and will provide some heavier sessions. At least he'll give the performance before passing out. So I need to say that when we start, we need to understand both, because अगर हम कोच को प्रिपेयर करने की बात कर रहे हैं, तो हमें कोच को भी जानना होगा कि वो कैसा होता है, उसके एबिलिटीज कैसे होते हैं, कैसे उसको काम करना चाहिए, how he need to work, and also we need to understand the child, what are the behavioral changes, what are the next coming points which we will cover in the slides. The behavioral changes, their mental changes, their psychological changes, their socio-economical changes, what that come with the families, their cultural changes were coming up, their physical changes, the most important part which we can feel it. So these are the changes which we need to understand to make a proper ecosystem and to develop the coach as a player, both in a best manner. So coach must understand the few points. We'll move forward. Like coach should know, उसे जानना चाहिए how young players learn. The most important part. Coach should know. We need to know that there is a every child learns in a different way. Progress, growth, or say learning rate of each and every child is different. So what I wanted to focus, coach need to be very clear. Coach need to be very clear from which he need to understand the student or trainees very well. He need to focus on the psychological aspects of the child, how he is learning. Like, focus on the key coaching points instead of talking. Will provide most of the things in a practical situation. Give more practicals. Less talk. Why? Because early basis, early childhood, early preparation ages, and early ages, if we provide more practical, that will be more beneficial for the future. So demonstrate, give practical experience, and less talk. Less explanation by words, just give the demonstration. And I also mentioned one more thing over here. I know कि हम बहुत सारे ऐसे coaches हैं, they are not able to perform that particular skill in a very good manner. That's all okay. That's totally fine. But don't give a false demonstration to the player. Take a use of help technology. Use technology. Use videos. Use elite players for the demonstration. Right? False demonstration is a very bad thing for the developmental age. So focus on the key coaching points. Very important point is as we know, there are learning stages. The first we call it the gross coordination, and we come to the mind coordination, the master our skills, and the development of the brain. Depends, and each skill which you learn will be developed, will be learned in these 3 stages. So coach need to understand which point to be focused on when he taught first, and when he got rough coordination of the skill, what are the corrections to be made, when the players are achieving the fine coordination, what points to be corrected, when he's in the final stage or say mastery of the skills, what fine motor corrections can be done, what small corrections can be done on that particular stage. So focus on the key coaching points. So based on that developmental stage, suppose is a small child not able to perform the gross motor properly, we can't correct the fine motors and that particular age. So most important part is, so we need to understand what points to be identify and point out for the corrections at the particular developmental ages. That is rough coordination, first we achieve, then the fine coordination, what we achieve on the next stage, and the master of the skill when we cover. You show me or tell me instead of do this or do. What we want is at the early ages, students always wanted to be encouraging words. We always we need to come up what the inside the child. बच्चे के अंदर क्या, what we need to understand and what we need that will come out first. Instead of do this or do that means हमें थोपना नहीं है कोई भी activities, हमें force bound नहीं करना है उनको. We don't need to bound that particular players for trainers children for that particular task. Let them come up with their learning rate. Let them come up with their rate of learning. Let them come with their ideas how they will adjust to that particular skill and how they will learn, and give them their time. Give them their time to adjust. Understanding training concepts, process of transfers of training content and process transfer to young players. हमें training content को understand करना. We need to understand the training contents. हमें और उसके process को understand करना है, and how we will transfer this to the young players. What we need to develop that particular basic things which will be transferred for the higher performance for the youngest. Right? So the fundamentals, which is totally interconnected with the high performance things, the fundamentals, the training skills, which is directly related with the elite performance, that need to be developed, and it will need to be transferred for the higher performance. So connection, there will be a connection there. So each stage by stage we need to keep moving. There are a few do's and don'ts in the sessions we generally follow. I'll say each and every coach take care of their say some do's and don'ts. Okay, there are something which improve the relationship of the coach and the player. The main thing of these do's and don'ts is, if you do a proper session planning, say based on their age, based on their learning outcomes, based on their developmental stages, and encourage players, that will improve the relationship between the coach and a player. This relationship is very important for the performance. The more you understand your player, more the chances of achieving the performance. So what we understand is long-term process, the age criteria, the coach and the understanding of coach, how what the coach should be, how he follow the principles. The next comes the understanding of a player. That is very important aspects. For that, we generally study in the psychology of books, sports psychology, that covers the developmental part of stages of growth and development. Right. So every child go through with the different developmental stages, like early childhood, middle childhood, pre-adolescence, and puberty, or say late puberty and adulthood, or say these stages, 5 developmental stages, and during that sub-developmental stages are also there, some infancy stage, some say puberty stages, pre-puberty stages. So these developmental stages are very important for coach to understand where the player is and what is happening and what is changing with each and every stage of development. Right. So suppose if a child got a birth, so from 0 to say 8 years of age, there are a lot of physiological, say mental, cognitive, psychological changes happen at birth, and these changes continuously occurs at the different stages of development. So behavior characteristics. What being as a coach, what you need to understand is each and every stage of development in a very proper. Suppose, for example, early childhood. So early childhood is the age of say skill development, and purely say skill. No other factors. In a previous session, we also say some strength training can be provided. When to start, I'll not say. We need to focus on the skill developmental part because they are cognitively very much strong. They are cognitively very much, so they are growing, their limbs are growing, and what they can develop the best at that particular age is the say balance, coordination, agility, skill, particular skills. Say in that particular stages, say coordination is the one of the best part to develop. Flexibility is the one of the best part to develop. So stage 1, say middle childhood, also a best part for this. So as soon as player grows, apart from the physical changes which we can observe, the most important is their psychological changes. Because physical changes we can observe, we can see by us, but behavioral changes, say psychological changes, it's something we need to understand as we spend time with it. And these changes, based on the research, this is already defined, each developmental stages and having which kind of changes. So if you wanted to become a coach, right? So if you wanted to become a coach, then you need to understand these 5 developmental stages, 5 developmental stages in a proper manner. Suppose like early childhood, कि कौन-कौन से ऐसे बॉडी में चेंजेस हैं जो हमारी बॉडी में आकर होते हैं. Then to the middle childhood, then middle childhood, what are the changes that occurs in the stages of middle childhood? The system of the growth of the systems, the growth of the bone, the growth of the muscles, muscle mass increases, the weight increases, right? So all these things you need to understand. The pre-adolescence, earlier puberty ages, that means it's something, the hormonal changes start at this age. Generally, it's the pre-puberty ages. So, friend systems, relationship is the most prominent in this age. So, we need to take advantage of that. Not even that's the disadvantage. So, whatever the changes is coming up, we need to take advantage of that to the particular training, to our development or the performance of the business. So these 5 fundamental changes, the most important part, I will say the most important part we need to understand is the pre-puberty and post-puberty. Then we start to becoming a lot of say physiological changes happen in the body, chemical changes happen in the body, emotional changes happen in the body. So at that particular stage, we need to attach with the players. You need to tell them what are the physiological and physical changes, chemical changes coming up in their body. To be very frankly, because that will help a child to understand what are the what I'm going through it, right? And that he can digest it, and that he can understand his body, and that will help him easily to overcome that emotional imbalance, mental imbalance, or say behavioral changes which is coming up due to the physiological changes in the body, to understand better. And that also helps because most of the sports, the specialization age also starts this pre-puberty level and the post-puberty before the adolescence. So that stage is a very important part for the players, for coaches to understand. If you understand better, you can plan better. And wholly solely, we are making this understandable to coaches and players just to plan better to achieve high performance at elite level. Right. So this is early childhood ages, ages 3 to 5. Few approaches we can encourage. Always remember to encourage. Always remember to give motivation. Motivation, encouragement are the most important aspect of a child, because if you scold, if you shout, that will lead to the negative thoughts in the players. Then that will lead to the dropouts, early dropouts, right? So what we want is make them fun. Let's encourage, and encouragement should be at early childhood, should be from the parent side as well, from home, from family side, and as well as coach will provide the best platform to play, make great interest in the players. Right. So as we already explained, this middle childhood age is 6 to 7 years. What behavioral changes, parents understanding, like more responsibilities. They are eager, players are eager, active, and learn to be go on, right? Peers become important, friends become important. So these are we need to understand. So introduce based on that particular age, right? So fundamental skills can be taught. because the age is not a specialized age, not to start. So that's a basic age. So more the fundamentals, familiarization of the skills is given. More you can develop the broader base for the coming. So pre-adolescence and early pupils, I told this is a very important age to understand and for the development, because most of the child, those who develop interest for the and achieving high performance in the past, that's the age they got the best interest in the particular thing. So must take care of that age, the pre-adolescence and the early puberty ages. We need to understand and pay attention for the developing, how they are meeting with their friends, how they are meeting with the families, how their emotional balance are, and how we can put them more physically active, right? And understanding girls as well, because there is a difference between the growth of a girls and boys during that particular stage. Girls' growth spurts comes earlier than the boys, right? They matures earlier than the boys, so they have more physical and physiological changes as compared to boys earlier. So we can start the specialization and provide more specialized training earlier to the girls as compared to the boys. But we need to don't compare girls and boys at that particular stage. Learn and remember their growth spurts when they starts. When growth spurts starts, their maturity level starts over when we start the specialization day. So there is always a gap between the boys and girls maturity level and the growth spurts. Adolescence and later puberty, I think late puberty ages, many changes come up in the girls and boys. We need to understand, and most of the things say girls achieve their growth spurt, they are matured at this particular age right now. So pre-puberty level and adolescence levels. So we can start some specialization training and increasing start intensity and load to the girls, particularly because they are maturing early. So and they are achieving high performance as also early as compared to the boys. So for boys, I'll say when the maturity level starts, when they are mature, they have many changes, and we need to develop because they are growing. Their lungs are expanding. Their cardiovascular system is expanding. The heart is expanding. Muscles are growing. Bone is growing. So they are all growing in the stages. So performance will improve. They will show the symptoms of the sign of performance always, but we always must not give overload or say overtraining in that particular age, because this age is something which is to provide the next next step for the high performance. But in that particular age, because child is able to easily adjust that particular situation. But if you emphasize more loading, say overloading to the particular child in that particular age, at the age of 17 or 18, it will be drop out. Definitely, it will drop out. So I hope we got to understand the behavioral changes, how this is important to understand a player, to understand a player for the planning. Late puberty and early adulthood, they start the more specialization training at age of 15 and 15 to 18. Let's say they are more mentally stable, technical skills. They are more now able to make the decisions. They are able to take the decisions, right? So at a particular age, we can start the specialization training to achieve the high performance for the competition level. For we need to train to compete now with this stage is particularly for the higher specialization. We need to understand the social interaction expressions, right? So all these stages, I'll say mental, social, physical and psychological or physiological, these particular changes are very important aspects. Each stage is having it, and if you better understand these changes, you will better able to plan and better understand your players, and you will achieve a good planning for the future. The next comes to the coach's approaches. Generally, Allen Iverson says, when you are not practicing, someone else is getting better. So this quote has always we having that this kind of quotations, that kind of slogans use that particular side. Coaching approaches means how you approach to that particular. So I'll moreover to say is when we are in the developmental coaching, and one is the elite coaching. So when we are in the developmental coaching, the approach should be game centered. Most of the players, we need to teach the skills. Definitely we need to teach the skills. And if we teach that skills into the by-part manner and use that parts and develop our games, right? So develop that games. Game centric means involve that particular child, play that game by using that particular skills. So you will easily understand, make them child understand how to use that particular skills in a game situation. But it will also engage other participants, number of players, number of teams. I'll say based on that, say drills can be used, different techniques can be used, but game-centric approaches, the style of this is the most important for the developmental stages, because it will generate the interest in the player. After developmental stages, the most important is to develop the interest. अगर आप interest develop कर पाते हैं, so and that is because of the game-centric approach which we wanted to apply. So that's a basic and important thing for the game-centric approach, which we are the most useful approach. Most of the developed countries in European countries and say Australia or American countries, those are using it, the game-centric approach in the developmental phases. So whatever you teach, if it should not be individual approaches in the early phases, developmental stages, it should be a game-centric approach. Give the games, give the recreation games, give the what we call it the lead-up activities. If you taught some skills, develop a game related to that particular skills, we call it lead-up. That will lead up to that particular skill and how to use them in the game situation. And there even you can develop in a game-centric approach. You just not develop only the skill, you develop many things. You develop friendship, you develop social environment, social structure. You in a game-centric approach, you are more able to understand the player and the behavior in a game situation, how he is reacting to the particular situation. So I'll prefer the game-centric approach as the most suggestive approach for the developmental plans, and it will be more helpful for the coaches if they use the game-centric approach. More helpful for the coaches to understand their players better. The next approach is the athlete-centric approach, which I wanted to highlight on this. The athlete-centric approach, when the athletes are matured enough, they are achieving their high performance ages, they are moving towards the high performance age or specialization ages. Now the athletes has required some athlete-centric approach. They need now the personal counseling, the personal thing with the coach. So these are the styles of the coaching, which is each coach can use with different stages of development, different fundamentals, different coaching scenarios with different coach when he is coaching to the different age group particularly, right? So that approaches, game-centric approach and athlete-centric approach is very useful. So game-centric for the development, athlete-centric for the specialization, towards the specialization for achieving the high performance. Then they are able to, the athletes need this correction, individual attentions, right? So more specific plan, specificity is increased as compared to the general plan, right? So as soon as the more specific training started, more specialization training started, player need to be like the approach or approach for the coaching need to be player centric or ethics. So the few points as given that coaching philosophies need to be decided. Every coach, I'll say every coach having their own philosophy. We don't follow the someone has philosophy. My philosophy is to revert back, to bounce back. My philosophy is to bounce. So I always insist my players when they are on the returning lap, when they are losing or when they are lost, I always approach with them to bounce back. So that's my philosophy. So each and every hand, each and every coach having their own philosophies. So we don't mean to copy the coaching philosophies. Understand what you have. Understand what is the best qualities you have. Make your philosophy and help with your coach self-awareness, their behavioral styles, coaching styles, understanding all is important for understanding the coach, coaching styles, understanding your athletes, their personality, their behavior. When you are like athlete centric, you need to be your personality need to be very much. You need to understand the player's personality, behavior, understand the athletes very much. If you are approaching the athlete centric, build the coach-athlete relationship. The most important part. I'll say when you understand what you are, what are your positive points, when you understand what your behavior, what you understand what is your coaching style, what you understand to build what your athletes are, what you understand the behavior of an athlete, when these things are clear, you will develop a very healthy and beautiful relationship with your athletes. And always that good athlete, good coaching athlete, good relationship always leads to the better performance. So here we comes the relationship between the coach and player. So just as I said, when you know yourself, when you know your player, when you know their ages, when you know their development, when you know their qualities, when they know their abilities. So most important part is the relationship between the coach and the player. When you know all this, open to all, the player to the coach, you will develop a great relationship between the player and the coach. And when the relationship are best, when the relationship are best, then we can have a better ecosystem, better environment for the development of the players at elite level, which we definitely wanted, to develop, and we all wanted to have medals on the Olympics. With that, we also wanted to develop a good ecosystem for sports, like for active life. So these relationship is very important, and these relationship is very strong when players and coaches know each other. When the players know their coach and the coach player know their players. We always understand and give importance of practice to be imbibed in the sports. Why? Because everyone plans to win. Nobody plans to fail or lose. Right? So if we are planning to win, then we definitely need to understand our athletes, our players, the importance of practice. Right? Andre Agassi said, if you don't practice, you don't deserve to. It's always practice. Earlier we used to say SK, practice makes the man perfect. Right now, the thing is, the better and the right scientific practice makes the man best out of it. So we need to tell the importance of practice and preparing for the competition in a positive way. We need to give them positive feedback, positive motivational words, prepare them for the competition. So there are a lot of pressure in the coming of the developmental stages. When the athletes participate in the early ages, they are more pressured, I think. So that's the preparing for competition in a positive way. We always need to positively motivate the athletes for the competitions, and attitude is the most. Attitude is the most important. I'll need to underline or highlight, say this point, because I'll say that when you plan, you develop that attitude also. Never say casual approach to the sessions. Never, ever. From the starting point, from the very starting point, and never approach and develop the attitude, right attitude for the training, for the competition. Never be casual for a single session as well. So I think the most of the aspects we have covered in that preparing to coach, and that's important for our community coaching program. If the coach understands the basic concept behind the coaching, how to give a better community coaching for the developmental level, as he need to know about skills, plannings, the understanding of psychology and sociological level behavior of the athletes, that will be more helpful for the community coaching, and we will have some more specialized, more skilled players at the early ages for the high performance coaches. That's really which we want. So I'll summarize. I'll conclude my session with this. Now I'm open for question and answers sessions. If there are,
Thank you, sir. Wonderful presentation. Few questions are there. From Vijay Raj Kumar, he asked that how to improve the confidence
I think,
level.
Sanjeev, Dr. Sanjeev, unmute your mouth.
Yeah, my
voice is not coming.
We can hear.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear, but I guess.
Sir,
missed.
Is it my voice?
No, I am not audible. Dr. Sanjeev Patel, your voice is not coming.
Yeah, Mr. Ankur Saini, can you hear me?
Hello.
I think maybe you need a headphone.
Mr. Ankur, I can't hear.
Mr. Ankur, maybe you need a headphone. Maybe, or we can send it as chat also.
Okay, no problem, sir.
You can send it as a chat.
No, I'm not able to hear anyone of the voice. I think there will be a problem right now.
Sanjeev, you can actually put it on a phone. Maybe you can just call on the phone.
I will join with Narendra sir, please.
Narendra sir.
Hello, हाँ जी sir.
आप उनको ना फोन से कॉल कर लीजिए, वो जवाब दे सकता है. नहीं तो फोन कर लीजिए, नहीं तो फोन से वो कर लेंगे जवाब.
Is my voice is coming? Is my voice is coming?
Yeah, yes. Ankur sir, we can hear you, but I think
I'm not receiving back.
I'm just calling you. Just receive your phone.
You call him on the phone,
Yeah,
so he can answer from there.
Hello?
You can ask the question. Narendra sir, you can actually ask the question on the phone. While keep the mic on so that he can hear the question. आप unmute कर लीजिए.
I'll stop my slide share right now.
Yeah. You can ask on the phone. संजीव सर फोन पे पूछ लीजिए, माइक ऑन कर लीजिए, इसको अनम्यूट कर लीजिए.
So the question is how to improve the confidence level of an athlete or a team, right? So confidence level of athlete and team is totally related with the psychological aspects. When you develop a good relationship between, so if we are talking about the team, if each of the member is having good relationship between each among them, that will develop a good confidence for the team. And during the practice, first you need to develop the confidence in the practice. That will lead to the confidence in the competition. Right? So there are some tests, psychological test can be assist. We can use that. Some confidence testing can be done. That will tell how team cohesion testing can be done, how each of the athletes can be interrelated with their athletes. With this help for their say abilities, how much they are confident. When we have a understanding of that concept, कि वो कितने कॉन्फिडेंट हैं, हमारे पास डेटा है अगर, तो हम उस डेटा के साथ हम उनके कॉन्फिडेंस डेवलप करने की नए कुछ साइकोलॉजिकल टेक्निक्स, with the help of that psychological techniques we can develop the confidence of that team as well as during the competition and during the practice.
So one more question. Saroj Kumar.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello. Is it audible, sir?
Yes. Yeah, it's audible.
Saroj Kumar asked, judo and combat boxing is also a combat one. Both are a contact game, but why judo should be learned earlier than the boxing?
Why judo should be learned earlier as compared to boxing?
Yes.
So, yeah, both are the combat sports. There is not much difference between the ages. I'll say that's basically involvement of the skills. When the more skill is involved, you need to give the early specialization, right? So new techniques you need to learn. You need to inculcate the skill part. You need to give the early specialization. Both are the combat sports, but as compared to like specialization is hardly say 1 or 2 years early we can start the judo as compared to boxing. But right now, as we can see, the high performance age for judo and the boxing are almost there is not much difference in the Olympic level. Right? So you can start earlier. So based on that particularly skill content, I want to say, if you are involving skill is more important, you need to start early. Like gymnastics, judo, but we'll say swimming, we need to start early. So these are the sports which the more skill content. So, and as we know, in early stages of development, we can develop the skills more than the say increasing intensity, volume, or load. Rather than this, we need to focus on this.
Okay. Ashutosh Gupta asked, how can we make a periodization when competition is back to back?
Yeah. Can you repeat this question? I just
how can we make periodization when competition is back to back? Again and again, there is no time.
Yeah, right. Very good question, I will say. For the beginners or say intermediate, we don't give much of the competitions. So competition will not come back to back. If you are asking the competition is coming back to back, that means he is the advanced player. And he is playing number of competitions. That is the reason. So if we are facing competition back to back, right? So there is a type of periodization. The one is linear periodization, one is undulating periodization. So the kind of periodization you are using it, that depends on the say back-to-back competitions. If you are wanted to play 1 tournament to 2 tournament to 3 tournament in a gap of 1 or 2 weeks, you need to periodize. That periodization is undulating periodization. In that periodization, you need to be focused on a recovery from one competition, regeneration after the recovery, and after regeneration, you need to have say preparation for the next competition. So this is, it can be done for the gap of 1 week, 2 week, or 3 week can be possible, and like improving the performance is very tough from each competition to competition because you are an advanced athletes. So that periodization will provide to maintain your performance the highest level from one competition with the gap of 1, 2, or 3 weeks and to the next competition. Right? I think that's enough for this.
Yeah. Fargus asked another question. What approach a coach should have towards a hyperactive child?
Great. Yeah. What approach can be followed for a hyperactive child? First, we need to understand the child. If we understand he is hyperactive, then the activities should be like that. We need to channelize his energy to the best possible. If you give the less energy consumptions activities, still the energy reserves in that particular child. So what you need to understand, the hyperactive child, the energy consumption mainly. Provide that activities which are more energy consumption, more mentally strong, like mental abilities improvement. So when he's burning his optimum energies, the hyper child is burning optimum energies, he will be the as normal child as the others. But there is a difference between the normal child and hyperactive that requires slightly more consumption of energies as compared to the normal. So plan that activities, for example, I'll say 5 repetition for normal, say 6 or 7 repetition for hyperactive. Just 2 or more repetitions, just to give them slight weightage, more burning say energy, so it can become normal with the other.
Pradeep Kumar asked, what should be the plan for newly joined players?
What should be the plan for newly joined players?
Yeah.
Yeah. What should be the plan for our newly joined players? That's basic understanding for the what the basic scenario which we have discussed in last 1 or 2 hours. So preparing to. If we wanted to start a player, first we need to start the fundamentals, the skill, the movement. If you are preparing, you are starting a new player, first teach them I have discussed the 3 stages of learning: the skill learning, the rough coordination, the fine coordination, and the mastery of the skill. So teach each and every skill according to that particular age, according to the particular stage of that development, gross, say rough coordination, fine coordination, and the mastery. Then focus on this movement part, not on the performance part. If you are preparing starting a player for a new game, focus on the movement learning. Right? If you teach them the right movement, you can achieve the better performance in the future. But if you teach the performance first, then you will definitely able to learn the wrong movements, and the performance cannot be sustained for the future. So for my suggestion, if you are starting a new player, just focus on the skill first, develop the fundamentals, develop the base, prepare the ligaments in the tissue, prepare the body movements, and develop the core exercises, balance abilities that are the support for their high performance abilities. So I think these are the basic fundamentals. If you are starting a new player, give them this kind of periodization or planning that will be more beneficial for achieving high performance in the future.
One more question from Lokesh. How to become a professional coach? This is a general question.
All right. How to become a professional coach? I purely say it totally depends on your interest. The first and foremost thing, if you wanted to become a professional in a particular sports, the first thing is your interest. If you are interested to that particular sports, then only you will become a professional. And the professional thing, which you are using the word professional, means that you need to be specialized in that particular. Right. So if you wanted to become a professional coach, professional comes with their specialization knowledge. If you have a knowledge of specialization to that particular ages, to the particular sports, you are more professional towards the game. And I always mention the first important factor is your interest. If you wanted to become a professional player, professional coach, sorry. So the first criteria is your interest. Follow your interest, which you have, you can easily become the professional and gain the specialized knowledge in that particular, and to be specific to that particular. If you wanted to become a professional coach for developmental stages or professional coach for elite.
So one more question is coming up.
Yeah.
You have spoken about this periodizations.
Yes.
Can these periodizations can be applied in school level also? Because time limitations are very less. Only few periods are given for physical education activities. So
Yes.
can you focus on this?
Yeah. A very good question for the school perspectives. The first thing is the periodization concept can be applied at the school. Yes, I will say definitely yes. Periodization must be applied at the school level also as well, because it's a periodization, it's a planning. It's not about I am getting two classes of PE or 3 classes of PE. It is about how I utilize that 2 classes or 3 classes of PE to my periodization to achieve that performance. Right. So I think periodization, the concept must be applied at the school level, and they need to understand the concept behind utilization of their time, because the periodization always suggests whatever the time we have, we need to utilize it the best. Whatever we can develop in that particular time, that is, we call it periodization. So I'll say, yes, it is applied, and we need to apply that periodization at the school level, and we need to focus on what we have, whatever the times we have, and how we can manage in that and achieve the best performance, rather focusing on only having 2 classes or 3 classes, or only say parents are not focusing, principal is forcing us not to play. So these are say रुकावटें हैं हमारे बीच में, but the periodization always says कि problem comes, definitely comes, but we need to plan whatever we can. That is the main concept behind the periodization.
Thank you, sir. In this panel, even Sujit Panigrahi sir is there, as well as Dr. Narendra Gangwar sir is there. So I request them, any questions related to this topic, or do you like to add anything further?
Yes, please.
I think you have to. So there's a question on what is tactic-centric coaching approach. So if you can actually ask that question to them, both drill or technique-based approach and the tactic-centric approach. Maybe you can ask that question to him. Can you hear? Sanjeev sir, you may repeat that question to him.
Yeah, can you once again, sir, please?
So मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि कुछ लोगों ने पूछा कि जैसे हमने पहले वो बोला ना, गेम सेंट्रिक अप्रोच हमने बात किया और प्लेयर सेंट्रिक अप्रोच बात किया, वैसे ही हमने उसमें टैक्टिक सेंट्रिक अप्रोच और टेक्निक सेंट्रिक अप्रोच की बात किया था, तो उसका कुछ एग्जांपल, हाउ डू यू प्लान फॉर इट?
Sir, in slide you have seen that student centric is there, as well as tactical and the technical part is there. So can you focus towards the technical and tactical part?
Okay, technical, I'll say the coach's style. The first one is the game centric. The second one is say athlete centric, and the one is technique centric and the technical centric. Some individual sports where skill is the most important part. So coaching style is more focused towards the skill centric. Suppose I'm say gymnastics. More is the skill centric game. So the coaching can be the coaches, what they need to understand is their approach always will be, I'll say style of the coaching will be the technique centric. In terms of team sports, where the tactics is most of the used, and the most important part is the tactics. For the coaches, those who are preparing for the team sports, right? So those who are preparing for the team sports, they will, from the start onwards, when they are developing, they will having in mind that they are the tactical centric style they follow for the team sports. It's like hockey, say basketball. So most of their coaching style of that say coach is tactical thing.
And a few contents I want to add here for this. Like tactical means it is related to internal as well as external factors also. The rules and regulations are utilized in the tactical part, and sometimes audience can be used. You have heard of many examples, like sometimes when especially girlfriends are there, some sports person may score more and more. That or parents also, sometimes even parents are called to or invited to watch or observe the matches. So even that public or a parent's motivations will be there. That can be utilized as an tactical part also.
सर वन मोर क्वेश्चन संजीव सर, आप उनसे पूछ सकते हैं कि हम जैसे लॉन्ग टर्म प्लानिंग करते हैं फॉर मल्टीपल इयर्स, ठीक है, बट ऐसे कोविड-19 जैसे सिचुएशन आ गया, so how do you readjust that plan?
Spectators, it's always a part of factors. Like India is winning most of the matches with those who play in India, so because the Indian crowd is much of the favorable with the Indian.
Hello.
Actually, I think he was replying to first question and then.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
नेटवर्क की वजह से आवाज नहीं आ रहा है शायद.
हाँ, इको की वजह से ना. संजीव सर अपना.
The voice is coming.
Hello.
Yeah, Patil sir, please request him to repeat the answer again because I think we have missed the voice. Patil sir, please.
Yeah. Sir, is it audible for you?
Yeah.
Sir, when we plan this periodization for a longer time, sometimes because of this COVID-19 also, these plans are hampered. So what will be your opinion towards this, sir?
Can you repeat the question? And all the slides are stopped, I think.
Hello.
Actually problem. Yeah. Can you repeat the question, Sanjeev?
Yes,
I think all the slides are hanged right now.
No problem, sir. Sir, when we plan this periodizations for a longer time, sometimes because of this COVID-19 pandemic or any other pandemic, this plan will be hampered. So how to manage during these conditions, to manage these plans?
All right. I will speak to on this.
Hello. Maybe not audible, I feel, sir.
Patil sir, I'm audible to screen right now.
Just ask Mr. Ankur to off the video, then voice may be clear. Patil sir, please.
Hello.
Can you stop that video, sir? Yours. Stop video. Maybe audio will be clear, I think.
Okay.
Hello. Now is it clear, sir?
Yeah. Voice is coming.
Yeah. Now
yeah, it's coming.
It's coming. Okay.
Question is.
I can ask the question.
Yeah, I got the question. I got the point.
Okay.
I'll just keep it this way. Definitely, the periodizations is hampered during the COVID-19 situation or the pandemic situations. It's a similar, bigger situation. It's if like player is preparing and some injuries happen. If the player is preparing and some injuries happen, that's a similar and slightly bigger situation than that. Players, right now the player is not injured, right? But they are not able to access that ground and facilities, right? Periodization always says we need to modify according to the situation. I will not say the most affected are the swimmers, I will say. Because they don't have swimming pool right now for the training. So what they can do is whatever the periodization tells us, develop those abilities which can be developed without the swimming, and which definitely helps the swimmers after the COVID-19 is over, pandemic is over, they will enter into the swimming pool. They will enter with the better body conditions. Or for the other sports, if some pandemic situations occurs, the best thing is everyone is on the same platform. The periodization says try to maintain, because we need to be resourceful in that situation. There is a roof everywhere. Everyone having the roof, everyone having the room, everyone having the house or some ground or some playground nearby, which they can utilize to maintain whatever they have. I will say maintain whatever they have. If they can able to maintain the latest, the physical strength, they will able to maintain the cardiorespiratory endurance if possible, right? If not possible, then just focus on कि वो ज़्यादा reduce ना हो, right? They will not reduce much and try to maintain as much as they can.
Yeah, nice, sir. Narendra, sir, do you like to add something?
Thank you so much, Dr. Sanjeev as Patil, sir. But I think he cannot get the voice, so I think. So just for the audience, you can say like, that was really wonderful session taken by Mr. Ankur Singh Saini. And as he has a lot of base of knowledge in, training and planning, so he made that session really wonderful and, very easy to understand, that I would like to mention. So you can continue. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, sir. So now it's a concluding part. Sir, your experience, your opinions are well accepted by the participants. Your knowledge, your wisdom, your opinion are well observed by participants. I hope participants enjoyed this presentation. And I want to tell that Ankur sir is not only a assistant professor, he is also a good swimming coach. And we expect his valuable resource in further programs also. Sir, on behalf of Ministry Youth Affairs and Sports, LNCP, Khelo India, and behalf of our respected Principal Sir, Dr. G. Kishore Sir, and behalf of participants, I thank you for your valuable presence and for your valuable opinions, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is to all the participants. Today at 5 o'clock, there's a session on physical education in Spain, teaching competencies. Dr. Maria from Alcalá University, Spain, she's going to talk about. आज 5 बजे फिजिकल एजुकेशन इन स्पेन उसकी क्या कॉम्पिटेंसीज को कैसे पढ़ाया जाए, कैसे सीखते हैं, उसके ऊपर सेशन लेंगे अल्काला यूनिवर्सिटी स्पेन से. सारे पी टीचर्स के बड़ा यूजफुल इन्फॉर्मेशन होगा, क्योंकि हम इंडिया के बारे में खाली जानते हैं, हम बाकी कंट्रीज के बारे में कहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है बताना जरूरी है. स्पेन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कंट्री है स्पोर्ट्स में, बहुत अच्छा करता है स्पेन. हमें एक्चुअली ये सेशन को अटेंड करना चाहिए और इसको सीखें. सो 4:30 बजे यू कैन log in through schoolfitness.khiloindia.gov.in/tot.aspx इंटरनेशनल सेशंस पे आप क्लिक करके आप आ सकते हैं. Thank you so much and see you in the evening.